some of the problems that we witness in our learning systems are created by our own ministries of education in Africa generally. And I had mentioned that if we had a Ministry of Learning, things would be completely different. If we threaten, if we imply to aspirants that, look, you will be locked out, we'll lock you up if you have fake degrees, if you do this and this. You see, humans who know that they do have capacities and they do have those feelings, they'll always look for a way in which they can be able to make achievement towards, let's say, the degree if it is the threshold. But if there is only one way for a human being to attain that degree, that's why people go to fake those degrees, because there's no other way. It's like saying, for me to pass KCSE, there are compulsory subjects, namely English and mathematics. So even if you are not wired for mathematics, you'll never pass. So you are cut off completely just because of one subject, yet you're a poet. This is the problem. Can we accept today in Kenya and in any country in Africa that somebody who is so popular because he is a musician, so popular is he that the youth, the adults at 80% are with him? But then you're saying, if he doesn't have a degree, he cannot be a leader. The problem with our country is that once we lack the tools and method to find alternative learning methods, we condemn people. And there is the problem. Most of our institutions rely on old, traditional, and outdated systems, which only rely on memory, recall power of a person. And I think that is a catastrophe trait.
Measure, because there has to be a measure of qualification, because we do have educated leaders who mess up, who don't do what is needed for, particularly when it comes to their people, but there are those who are also uneducated as far as the levels that were being given with this issue are concerned, but they also mess up. So there is a need for a measure. But then how do you quantify like experiential learning or natural learning? What would be the measure that would make someone actually be up to snuff when it comes to leadership?
Thank you very much, Trix. You know, some of us just speak for the sake of speaking. In the world today, we have tools, methods, scientific, that can be able to measure those. One of them I mentioned to you is known as anthropobiometrics. Anthropo means human metric values, from the word anthropology, which I think, you know, is even offered in some of our universities. Biometrics, you know, equipment that frees people into shopping malls or at the airports. This equipment are able to extract your metric values known as human genera values. Talent is not sport. Talent is not music. Talent is not comedy. Talent means you with your metric values. And metric values mean we can measure. Competence, interest, these are emerging. These are symptoms. We can't measure. So there's a problem there. But that's for another day. For adults, like the MCS, we add another piece known as a matrix system. These are tools, scientific, which exist and modern. Mature adult talent reclamation and inspection console. These are real methods which are scientific and we use to extract human values which we can measure. Therefore, you'll know the capacity. In fact, as a matter of fact, we are able to even look at a person at age 6, even if you are at 40 years as of today. And I think the government of the Republic of Kenya, or any in Africa, ought to be knowing what is futuristic. Unfortunately, most of our people in our ministries of education, they rely on copying and benchmarking. For example, today, somebody is still talking about recognition of prior learning, as though it is something new. That's dead 30 years back. Today, we are talking about matrix system, which can be able to reclaim the original wiring of an adult and be able to forecast that. And I think it is important for people to look at things in terms of the future, not just in terms of what's occurring today. And with that tricks, if we are able to know the current matrix value of a potential aspirant, and we find this guy, yes, confirmed, has got the capacity to be able to do so many things, that means we can assign credit values to those potentials. And if we can assign those credit values, then we can ask our university that although this guy is a Form 2 dropout, but on measurement, on assessment, we find he has this potential and the credits therein can be transferred. And this is internationally accepted. We transfer credits day in, day out. You check on the internet, many universities even today say that we shall admit you even if you have low grades or no grades at all, as long as it can be explained, because we do have new methods and new tools that can be able to do that. So instead of scaring aspirants that if you don't have a degree, you will not vie. But you're not telling them you can certainly get a degree cheaper and sooner if we use alternative methods, and those methods can be recognized. And I think there is a problem just in that traits.